Hello everyone, hello Annie.
Hello, Julia.
Today we are doing investigation session, so please take a comfortable position, Annie. Yes, take a deep breath or two, relax. I am going to count from 10 to 1 and you will relax completely. 10. As I speak and count, you feel more and more relaxed. 9. You can now release all the tension you have in your body. 8. Allow yourself to feel ease and light. 7. You can go deep, deep into esoteric field. 6. You can release all your thoughts. Your mind can be quiet and relaxed. 5. As I count, you feel relaxation in your body. 4. Now I'm going to count to 3 and you will be ready to get the information, to gather information from the esoteric field. 1, 2, 3. What elements or beliefs which you perceive are the most common for a human being to lead him to commit suicide?
I am now in such a beautiful place. It is full of energy. And thinking about suicide is something to go deeply in some human being, soul, who is maybe here in this beautiful place. I am not quite used to be, as you count to 1, or everyone counts to me to 1, to be in such a beautiful place. I see warmth. I feel containment, safe. But it is strangely, it is not so very bright place. It is a dim light place. I would say it is quite reddish or blackish energy, but not at all frightening. It's very, very comfortable. As I see people on the earth, still in a human form, preparing for their suicide, I see them a special pattern of energy like a worm. A worm upside down, and I see the same pattern in them. Uh, I might check if this pattern is something recent, globally seeing, or it is with them from the moment they have been born. I don't see yet that level of detail. Just
Maybe
seeing.
later.
Maybe later we can come to it back. So I see this worm form. The worm is emitting exactly that kind of energy which I am sensing now. It is warm. It is calling. It is calling to rest. It is quiet. It feels very pleasant. So, in contradiction to that kind of energy, which I sense now it is polarizing a human being, the human is facing his everyday life, which is full of tension, full of discrepancies, and this warmth is somehow calling. It is somehow calling as the ultimate home. And I see now the contradiction in a human who is preparing or thinking about suicide. I see them split in their energy field, the calling energy and the facing energy, daily activities, which is unbearable. It is a cold energy. It is very bright, but a brightness which is not nice in the feeling. It is a cutting brightness. It cuts deeply into the flesh, into the mind, into the feelings of the human, and putting them together, the worm-like figure and the cutting, very bright energy. It seems that the cutting bright energy is the one who pushes towards the suicide. It is that one is the dangerous one, and it is cruel. It is very, very cruel. Still, those two energies seems to come from the same source somehow. I do not see quite yet from what kind of source.
But it's not a human itself.
It's on the human form and the human existence. It is on the etheric level, which I can say. It is. It bears vitality with itself. It is not just an information for the mental. It brings vitality, energy with it, and cuts and puts itself deeply inside the whole human being as in its physical form. Those polarities are inside of him.
Are there any common dynamics that develop in all cases of suicide?
I am thinking about now how to enter this question in order to get some very, very true information, at least an information who is directly linked to someone's energy. If I am going upward and seeing all the people who are directly linked to this phenomenon, at this point in time, I am afraid to not to connect to the social consciousness. I am eviting that part, so I am going upwards now and seeing people from the above who are like marked already. They are marked, and I see connections going upwards towards something like a puppeteer who is playing with its puppets or his puppets. I see these energies and energies tensioning the people. Tension is as great as it can be. It is not the tension is constant, and the tension is intelligent. The tension creates exactly the tension between these opposing energies in the field of the human, which I was told you before. Yes, I see these strings tensioning. It is common for them. Yes, I would say for all of them.
Okay. Please observe the inner dynamics of the act of suicide between the etheric body, the emotional body, and the physical body.
These polarities affecting these bodies, entering each with its preferred place. So the worm is in the vital body, creating a sensation of warmth, a sensation of coming home, a sensation of calling, and the bright cutting energy is directly linked to the physical body and to the mental also. It is depleting the mental. It is completely depleting the mental body. And the emotional body, or the emotional function of a human being, is split between the two. The positive emotions tend to like automatically stick to the warmth energy, and the negative ones are splitted from the human beings to the cutting bright energy. It is a very interesting dynamic because these two, if present in the human energy fields, do that, splitting the emotions very, very drastically. And it creates a more accentuated pushing on the mental, which is depleting more and more. And I see now how the mental energy is flowing down between these two separating fields. Exactly between two is something like a drainage, which drains the mental energy down. It is going down and making some turns. And you know what? It constricts the human being from the outside. It creates an even more pressure. So these collaboration of those energies is very, very interesting, because if this constricting energy would not be there, coming directly from the mental, the pulling energy would pull aside the conflict from the human being, and the conflict would remain something somewhere else, or the information and the energy of the warm and the pulling energy would be something else. So uh, the mental energies of the subject is used very, very intelligently against the human being in order to constrict him more and more. Wow.
Okay, so can we say that it's a human being that almost creates it by itself? Those energies, like it's human beings, humans' energies, right?
No, I would not say that, because he is not conscious on the physical level and not even conscious on the subliminal level what is done to him. And at this level of the dynamics of the energies, it is done to him.
Okay. What emotions are most related to the phenomena of suicide?
Despair, despair. That is on the bright side, longing, longing to something good. It is on the warm side. Anger, let's see. On the bright side, sadness. On the warm side, or on the worm, it is almost the same. It is a warm sensation, and it is a worm in physical form. Let's see, fear, worm. What kind of emotions? A lack of. If we are saying lack of, it is towards the worm. And if something is very heavy, it is on the bright side as emotion, like anger, fury, retaliation. These active energies are pulled towards the bright side.
Does it mean that if a human being would allow himself to feel the anger, for example, it would maybe he could get out from that circle and that suicide energies?
Interesting question. Now I should check what exactly creates this situation. Who or what creates to the physical being, physical human being, this kind of collaboration between energies. I see, sure, a puppeteer-like figure who is observing its puppets, who plays with them. It is already some common denominator that some very, very nasty being it is doing to ourselves things. But I would check what exactly in the human being causes that he enters in this situation.
Yes, please. Very interesting.
The first image which appears, it's something, it trespasses being in an energetic form, some forbidden limits. These forbidden limits in, let's say, the life between lives area, is checking for the being who is curious. And if the being is very curious and it is trespassing some of his limits, so it is possible to get him into those kind of situations when the being is incarnated again. This energetics is put on him from the beginning. And I see life events activating the already present machinery in energetic machinery inside of its etheric body, vital body, mental body, emotional, mentally. I see that something in its vitality is activating itself. Good. So trespassing, curiosity. What else? What else can a soul do or a human being do in order to get this picture? What else does it do? Oh, beings who are not very keen to incarnate in the planet because they have totally different frequencies, vibrations. They are coming from other planets. They are not used to this kind of system, this kind of control. They do not like to be here, so they are possible clients again to be invested in this kind of energies. What else? As I see suicidal beings, I see mostly very pure and very high vibrational beings who does not support to be here, or physically or mentally, because this mental is shattered.
They just want to get out of the system. Right?
They would have liked to get out from the beginning, and they remained as incarnated with the longing sensation of I don't want to be here, and the life is coming upon them, and they are not capable to bear that kind of pressure. So the suicide is not necessarily because they want to leave. The suicide is because the very, very heavy pressure upon them, making daily chores and making their daily lives possible, and it is unbearable for them.
What happens to the emotional body of a suicide in the absence of the physical body immediately after death?
Now I see a very typical or atypical scene where all those emotions are consumed by low-level beings. It is a feast upon low-level emotions, and these beings, these low vibrational beings, are like very hungry animals there. That was the first image before my eyes. So observing further the soul's path after life, it seems to me that they lacking a lot of their personal energies in the emotional form, which were eaten already, and it is more and more weak. It is weaker and weaker, the soul.
And what happens to those emotions, like bright ones, longing, um, warmth? Is it the same? The feast for the
Mhm.
entities?
In the previous scene, I saw very, very clearly where the mental energy goes. I did not see very clearly what is happening with the emotions. I know that it is a heavy split between the emotions during their life, their physical life, between the light energy, the cutting energy, and the warm energy.
Mm-hmm.
After death, I see the soul or the human being going to the place of the life between life, and I do not see their emotional energies following them, because at one point they are all being eaten. I see just what I see. It is a very heavily depleted soul because of that eating of its emotional energies. It is depleted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is there any relationship between suicide and karma? Do those souls get what's happening next to them?
Absolutely. If the soul is so depleted of energy, it has very, very little energy for being, for existence. It can be invested in any program. They are very, very good candidates for mind programming, uh, for people who will be born with uh, physical deformities, mental deformities, with genetic problems. Look, in this depleted form, uh, the the bad guys can do with this soul limitless things.
Could you please observe chakras in relation to the psychophysical dimension during the transition phase caused by suicide?
Mhm. I am not very comfortable to check on chakras, to check on these devices. Um, I will tell you why, because it is connecting directly to a plane, which often called astral plane, which is the very insertion plane of the matrix inside human soul's energy. So it seems I don't like it, but I'll do it. It is the domain of the AI. So what should I say about the chakras and suicide? I should calm myself down, because I do not read chakras. Chakras belong to a vibration and an exact vibrational field, which is entirely of AI. So I should find my neutral point in order to be able to observe. Chakras and suicide. constriction. Yes, when I draw the picture about the mental energy, which goes down and making this serpent constricting energy um, from the outside of the human being. I see also chakras involved in this doing the energetics. And chakras are mainly the main mechanisms to do that.
Okay.
And I see mental energy coming and going downwards, from on the inside or the outside. It is strangely, if I am looking from the outside, a being, I see the mental energy going. No, let's stop for a little bit. Very much information's coming. Good. I am seeing now the person with his mental energy going down this way, going into the fifth chakra, or which force is okay. 6, 4, entering deeply down to the root, coming upwards, making a turn, going inwards on the second, going a turn, going inwards from the back side on the third, going out and making a loop directly to the seventh. The fifth is out.
Okay,
Yes.
that's strange mechanism.
Look, 6, 4, down on the center, root coming up, making a turn, going inwards to the second, going out here on the third, making a turn, whatever.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay, that's strange. Strange mechanism. So the chakras are really, really involved in that. Okay.
Chakras are involved in everything which is not good.
Is there a relationship between suicide and reincarnation? Maybe you can check where do those people, humans who committed suicide, what's happening in the reincarnation process?
So I've already draw down the picture what will happen with the soul after a suicide. What is lacking is to check what happened before the suicide. And again, I've checked from the behavioral part of the soul, what does a soul do as if it is ending up with this kind of program. Trespassing, curiosity, high vibration, not liking to be here. Let's see if you have some idea where to look upon the information from other point of view. What is the linkage between karma and suicide? For me, karma is what is put in front of a soul, in front of the committee, the reincarnation committee or the Lord of Karma. It is just like that, a document or a plan or a contract. So how do they convince the soul to reincarnate in a life which contains suicide? It's like that. For curious souls, for
And it's easy because they are just like depleted, right?
yes, after a suicidal life, a soul is very, very depleted of energy. As we saw, his chakras are completely doing the spiral thing and the constriction thing. They are depleting their energy from their energies by all those being eaten immediately after they are trespassing. So that's it.
And is there any relationship between suicide and genealogy?
I don't see yet, and I didn't saw. I checked on several occasions to see what kind of information is inserted into the DNA. I haven't find it. Just the two forms of energy of worm, the sword. Let's see what happens if a parent is suicidal and what happens with its child after the act of suicide. Yes, the worm is already there, and this kind of soul in human form can be infected by the worm who makes after the split, even if the soul is not high vibrational other planet being, even if the soul is not curious, even the soul has not done the forbidden things before reincarnation, but by exposed to that kind of event, which is very, very traumatic, this not the event itself is traumatic for a child, but being around a being which is mother or father, which has this absolutely chaotic energy fields. So that is how a child is traumatized. Because the child's energy and the consciousness would try to copy that kind of chaotic energies.
Yes.
And it is traumatizing, yes. The child somehow learns a pattern to construct its own energies in that way, which is a sick way, and it is not a natural way. So that is how it is propagated as a virus from exposure to it. Prolonged exposure for the parents' chaotic energies.
And is there a way for people who have this energy, like suicidal, that circle around them, to get out of it?
I am now experiencing exactly the exposure to that chaotic field because I was entering in the viewpoint of the little child, and I am now copying the parents' chaotic energies, which makes me possible for a worm to be inserted in my energy fields. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry, I am going with the flow. Let's see. How can I get rid of it to copy someone else's energy who is not suicidal? So, first step, going out from the place where I lived as a child, going out to live in a new place which is filled with my energies, to pick each one of my friends, my co-workers, my colleagues, in such a way that no one should have this kind of constrictor energies in their energy field. Why? Because if I am sensing the same energy, something in me begins to copy it and remembering me exactly the pattern. So my energy patterns are copying themselves. So that is how. To see each person, to ask them, did you have a parent who was suicidal? Are you suicidal or depressive? Do you have relatives? And as possible, to keep away. If the subject was exposed to a parent who was suicidal. If it was not, it is not copy mechanism in place, because each individual tends to copy its parents' energy fields.
And is there a way for parents who has born already with that energy field to get away from it?
Uh, Please restate again. I don't quite understand the question.
Um, well, there are some people who are born like it, like that, with that energy field, with that suicidal sphere
Pattern.
around. Yeah, pattern. What is there a way they should
For
cure
them.
themselves? Yes.
For them. I don't see other way that doing very heavy consciousness work and targeting exactly the upper level of the three consciousness levels, as I see them in people. The first consciousness level, to get rid of interferences. The second level of doing energy works and knowing your energies very, very well. And the third one is targeting exactly the truth. So, the third one, if a person is capable to remember on a deep level that all that matters is the ultimate naked truth, and doing work with himself. So it's not like that. Wow.
What do you mean? They can change it or?
They can change it, but not targeting the upper level, the third part, to targeting the second level, to do energy work and to get to know themselves by each energy field of themselves, not targeting the third.
So working with
Targeting
your
the third,
energies.
it is not good for a person who has suicidal energies from the beginning. Yes.
Is it too hard for them? Like to,
Uh,
it makes it to
yes.
repeat the cycle, right?
It depletes more the mental, because targeting the third step, it is mainly getting rid of everything. So the suicidal person's energies are so designed that depletes already emotional energies, mental energies. So no other depletions is necessary here. It is not advisable to deplete anything deconstruct the ego, because the third level is about that, to deconstruct everything, every belief, and reconstruct on a pure level, or a level 0. For a suicidal person is not advisable. They have to get more energy from their energies. They have to target energy work. Yes, it is the most advisable. Sure, beginning with getting rid from each and every interference, but this getting rid part is punctual. I as a suicidal person, or as a client, I can make how many cleaning sessions a year, maximum 2 or 3. And what will I do between those sessions? Between those sessions, I am beginning to learn about how to conserve my energies, how to direct my mental energies. So getting used to use my own energies. It is the second level. Yes.
Okay, that's nice.
Yes, very
It's
interesting.
possible, yeah, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Could you please observe, has the phenomena of suicide always existed, or is it a new thing?
It is not a new thing. It is a program, a mechanism, a knowledge from the Lord of Karma, which is put on some people.
And do animals commit suicide, or is it only for human beings?
I am not used to read animals. Let's see. The first encounter in the animal kingdom. Animals. They belong to other control system. The mechanisms are not alike. As I see, the human control system is being above the physical level or the terrain level. I see the control system of the animals is somehow aside, and it is working on different mechanisms, different interventions. It is more direct. It is not needed that sophistication of Lord of Karma and the committee and all the beautiful fairy tales. No, it is more direct intervention.
Okay, thank you, Annie. So now, Annie, I am going to count from 1 to 3, and you will totally come back to this moment where I am speaking to you right now and where your physical body is. 1. Disconnect from everything and everyone. Disconnect everything from yourself. 2. Feel your body. You can feel the energy flows in your body. 3. Open your eyes.
Buenos días.
Dzień dobry.
Bienvenidos a este primer vídeo de Disclosure en español y polaco.
Bardzo Was serdecznie witamy na tym nowym wideo, które będzie w języku hiszpańskim i polskim na kanale Disclosures.
Vamos a producir mucho más vídeos en futuro como estos vídeos informativos.
W przyszłości stworzymy dużo więcej takich wideo, które będą Was informowały o różnych rzeczach.
Porque estamos notando que cuanto más se va divulgando este trabajo, estas hipnosis por Internet, también cuanto más mala información se está difundiendo.
A to dlatego, że zauważyliśmy, że im więcej wstawiamy sesji z naszymi hipnozami, tym więcej jakby informacji sprzecznych zaczyna się rozprzestrzeniać.
Y entonces hoy vamos a hablar de las sesiones investigativas.
Więc dzisiaj będziemy mówić o sesjach badawczych.
Porque estoy viendo que hay personas que a lo mejor se dedican a una sesión con una persona, se van a algún lugar, preguntan algo y lo poco de información que pueden extraer de una sesión se lo creen como si fuera oro, completamente puro oro.
Bo zauważyłem, że są takie sesje i takie osoby, które robią jedną sesję z jedną osobą na dany temat i kiedy wychodzi tam jakaś informacja, to jest ona odbierana jakby to było rzeczywiście coś niesamowicie wiarygodnego, jakby to było czyste złoto.
Yo os digo que la sesión así dicha investigativa no existe.
Ja chciałbym Wam powiedzieć, że sesja badawcza tak naprawdę nie istnieje.
Entonces podríais como preguntar, entonces cuando haces una sesión a un cliente y preguntas cosas, ¿por qué preguntas?
Więc mógłbyś mi zadać pytanie, więc skoro robisz jakąś sesję z jakąś osobą i zadajesz jej pytania, to właściwie po co je w ogóle zadajesz?
Sí, sabemos que la información en hipnosis está muy, pero de verdad muy contaminada.
My bardzo dobrze wiemy, że informacja, która wychodzi podczas hipnozy jest niezwykle, ale to niezwykle zanieczyszczona.
Y esa información, así como sale de la hipnosis, no podemos tomarla como conocimiento, como investigación.
Więc takiej informacji, która wychodzi podczas sesji hipnozy, nie bierzemy nigdy jako takiej informacji, która jest rzeczywiście bardzo prawdziwa, zgodna z prawdą i oczywista.
En el caso de sesiones a clientes, la información que sacamos nos sirve por otro objetivo. El objetivo es llegar a la causa de su problema y trabajar.
Te informacje, które uzyskujemy podczas sesji dla klientów, służą nam zupełnie do czegoś innego. Celem jest to, żeby znaleźć przyczynę i pracować nad nią.
Pero ¿qué significa que la información está contaminada? ¿Cuánto está contaminada y por qué?
Ale co to właściwie oznacza informacja zanieczyszczona? Kiedy jest zanieczyszczona i dlaczego jest zanieczyszczona?
Hay que saber que cuando nosotros pedimos una información y nos llega a través de una persona en hipnosis, esta información sale de una fuente, para así decirlo, y atraviesa muchas dimensiones, muchas densidades.
Kiedy prosimy o jakąś informację podczas sesji, to ta informacja, powiedzmy to w ten sposób, pochodzi z jakiegoś źródła, ale w międzyczasie przechodzi przez wiele gęstości i wiele wymiarów.
Y también pasa por conciencias, por inteligencias. Esa información viene atrapada en el éter por varios seres.
Ale ta informacja przechodzi też przez wiele umysłów, wiele świadomości, istnieje w eterze i może być przechwycona również przez wiele bytów.
Estos seres, estas inteligencias, pueden voluntariamente o involuntariamente distorsionarla.
I te byty, te istoty lub świadomości mogą ją zniekształcić świadomie lub nieświadomie.
Y además, la persona que está en hipnosis tiene sus creencias, su mentalidad, sus perspectivas, sus opiniones. Esta estructura mental contamina también esta información.
A co więcej, osoba, która jest w stanie hipnozy, ma swoje własne przekonania, swoje własne wartości i wierzenia, swoją własną mentalność i przez tą właśnie strukturę całą mentalną również może dojść do jeszcze kolejnego zanieczyszczenia.
Y además, si nosotros queremos investigar, por ejemplo, una persona o un ser que no tiene ninguna conexión con el ambiente hipnótico donde estamos trabajando, esta persona puede no autorizar la salida de informaciones de sí mismo.
A co więcej, jeśli połączymy się z jakąś istotą, która absolutnie nie należy do tego środowiska hipnotycznego, w którym pracujemy, taka istota może nie zgodzić się na przekazanie informacji.
Si hay interacción, si hay interferencias entre un ser y otro, es posible que circule información por las conexiones, por los pactos.
Jeśli jest jakaś interferencja między dwoma istotami, to wtedy dzięki tym paktom, albo przez te pakty, przez to połączenie, które istnieje, rzeczywiście wychodzą informacje.
Pero si en aquella sesión en concreto ese ser o esa persona se va a cuestionar y no hay ninguna conexión, es muy improbable que llegue una información autorizada.
Ale jeśli zdarzy się tak, że łączymy się z istotą, która nie ma z tym nic wspólnego, to jest bardzo mało prawdopodobne, że dostaniemy jakąś informację.
Entonces, imaginemos que queremos investigar sobre un personaje famoso de la historia.
No, na przykład wyobraźmy sobie, że chcielibyśmy otrzymać informację o jakiejś osobie niezwykle znanej, historycznej.
Si no tenemos de alguna manera alguna conexión con los elementos del ambiente hipnótico y esta persona, aunque no esté conectada, no autoriza esta información, pues no llega.
Więc jeśli wyobrazimy sobie, że ta osoba nie jest w żaden sposób połączona z tym środowiskiem hipnotycznym, w którym pracujemy, może się tak zdarzyć, że absolutnie nie zezwoli na żadne przekazywanie informacji na swój temat.
Y cuando pasa esto, hay siempre o casi siempre alguna entidad que se aprovecha de la situación.
I kiedy to się dzieje, zazwyczaj pojawia się jakiś byt, który wykorzystuje tę sytuację.
Se puede presentar con la supuesta identidad de la persona o del ser que estamos buscando, o puede de todas formas modificar o inventar una información por su cuenta, por su personal ventaja.
Może zrobić dwie rzeczy. Albo przyjąć, zidentyfikować się z osobą, o której chcemy zrobić tę sesję, przyjąć jej tożsamość, albo zmienić informacje, które chcielibyśmy otrzymać, tak aby to działało na jej korzyść.
Nosotros en sesión a clientes podemos trabajar porque el cliente nos autoriza a trabajar en él en su sesión.
Podczas sesji dla klientów możemy pracować nad takimi informacjami, bo otrzymujemy zgodę na informacje właśnie dzięki temu klientowi.
Y podemos trabajar con sus seres queridos, por ejemplo, o con los seres que interfieren con ella, propio porque hay estas conexiones.
I możemy pracować na przykład z istotami, które kocha ta dana osoba, lub z bytami, które w nią ingerują, właśnie przez to połączenie, które tam istnieje.
Entonces, hay una gran diferencia entre la sesión a un cliente para solucionar sus problemas y hacer sesiones para investigar.
Dlatego istnieje taka duża różnica między sesjami, które robimy dla klientów, aby rozwiązać ich problemy, i między sesjami takimi poszukiwawczymi, badawczymi.
Por eso digo que no existe una sesión investigativa.
I dlatego właśnie Wam mówię, że nie istnieje coś takiego jak sesja badawcza.
Lo que existe es un protocolo de sesiones de investigación.
To, co istnieje, to pewien protokół sesji badawczych.
Hay que seguir un protocolo y hay que seguir, ejecutar una serie de sesiones y con personas diferentes.
Więc trzeba zawsze śledzić ten sam protokół, a jednocześnie wykonać wiele sesji z różnymi osobami.
El protocolo tiene que ser único, unívoco, porque hay que preguntar en un tema las mismas preguntas para ir en la misma dirección.
Ten protokół powinien być zawsze taki sam, ponieważ należy zadawać takie same pytania, tak aby iść zawsze w tym samym kierunku.
Cuanto más está restringido este espacio de investigación, cuanto más podemos tener más probabilidad de tener buena información.
Im bardziej zawężamy obszar naszych poszukiwań, tym bardziej prawdopodobne będzie, że otrzymamy dobre informacje.
Sí, podemos también aumentar este espacio, pero tenemos que aumentar proporcionalmente el número de sesiones por hacer.
Możemy oczywiście rozszerzyć ten obszar, ale wtedy będziemy zmuszeni również rozszerzyć ilość tych sesji.
Luego, cuando tenemos una grande serie de sesiones, pero estamos hablando de centenas o hasta de millares de sesiones,
I wtedy mówimy o olbrzymiej liczbie sesji, od setki po tysiące.
tenemos que recoger toda aquella información que es común a todas o a casi todas estas sesiones hechas.
I wtedy musimy pozbierać te informacje, które są wspólne dla wszystkich bądź prawie wszystkich tych sesji.
Esta información común vais a ver que es un porcentaje muy pequeño con respecto a la totalidad de la información.
I zobaczycie, że ta informacja wspólna będzie naprawdę niewielkim odsetkiem tych informacji, które się tam pojawią.
Son pepitas de oro.
To są takie malutkie ziarenka.
Es como si nosotros vamos a un río, vamos a coger este filtro, vamos a coger muchísima arena para recoger solo muy pocas pepitillas de oro.
I można to przyrównać do poszukiwania złota, kiedy filtruje się dno rzeki, zbiera się mnóstwo piasku, a na koniec pojawiają się maleńkie ziarenka złota.
Esa sí que es información de oro.
I to jest właśnie ta informacja złota.
Si hoy podemos decir que hay seres que interfieren bastante con el ser humano y que tienen formas de animales reptiles o de animales a forma de insectos, etcétera, es porque todo esto sale desde que se empezaron las sesiones de hipnosis y hay muchísimas, millares y millares con esta información común.
I jeśli dzisiaj możemy powiedzieć, że są ingerencje, które przybierają formy albo reptilii, albo jakichś insektów, to dlatego, że takie informacje wychodzą od początku naszych sesji hipnotycznych i są wspólne i jest ich tysiące.
Pero si yo digo que en la ciudad de Nueva York, en el 1452, en aquel punto, había una casa que vivía un viejo que se llamaba Tom, pues solo en aquella sesión ha salido y cuanto más contaminada puede ser, no lo va a saber nadie.
Ale jeśli chciałabym powiedzieć, przekazać taką informację, że w Nowym Jorku w 1452 roku stał taki a taki dom, w którym mieszkał taki a taki starszy pan o imieniu Tom, to nie mam pojęcia, jak bardzo zanieczyszczona będzie ta informacja.
Así entonces se hace investigación. Es un trabajo muy largo, muy duro y tiene que ser hecho con un protocolo riguroso y severo.
A więc właśnie w taki sposób należy robić sesje badawcze. Jest to proces bardzo długi, ciężki i który wymaga bardzo restrykcyjnego protokołu.
Y entonces por esto que nosotros ya vamos a empezar a hacer ciclos de investigación.
I właśnie dlatego zaczniemy teraz robić takie cykle badawcze.
La estructura del team, que cada vez va creciendo siempre más, y el número de clientes que cada día contactan con nosotros, nos permiten organizar estos ciclos de investigación.
I ponieważ struktura naszego zespołu cały czas się powiększa, a także liczba klientów, którzy kontaktują się z nami każdego dnia, te czynniki pozwalają nam na to, żebyśmy zrobili taki cykl badawczy.
Creo que ya he dicho todo, o casi todo. Cualquier pregunta podéis escribirla en los comentarios del vídeo o donde sea publicado el vídeo.
Myślę, że powiedziałem wszystko, bądź prawie wszystko, a jeśli macie jakieś pytania, to proszę zadajcie je pod tym wideo.
Gracias por vuestra atención.
Dziękujemy za Waszą uwagę.
Y gracias a ti, Milena.
Gracias a ti, Kalo. Dziękujemy.
Chao.
Ciao.